Okay, so we're back. We have looked at the databases page from library resources and also from the quick link. Another way to access databases or get some idea of which databases might be best for your search is to go to the Spirit of Inquiry tab from the library's homepage. So if you will go to the Spirit of Inquiry page, you can see we've organized all this information down the left-hand side of the page by the kind of searching you are doing. So if you're searching online, there's some options here. Google searching that we have talked about in the past, and other search engines other than Google. You can search periodicals here. Remember, we mentioned that periodicals were magazines or newspapers because those are things that come out periodically. Scholarly articles come out periodically as well, but we keep them in a sort of a different category in our minds. We'll come back to that shortly. You can search the library catalog for scholarly articles. You can go straight to newspaper websites or magazine websites in order to search, for example, the New York Times or the Atlantic, which are a newspaper and magazine respectively. Or you can go to the Library Databases tab here, and that will take you back to the Databases A to Z page that we looked at. But another possibility for you in using databases is to click on the Searching Databases tab, and you can go straight to the general databases. We mentioned that Academic Search Premier is a general database, and one of the ones that I use most frequently. I always get good results with Academic Search Premier. You can also use Academic OneFile, which has lots of scholarly content as well, which you can tell right here from our description of it, 13,000 scholarly journals. You might also take a look at JSTOR. So think of that as a store of journals. Lots of scholarly journal articles there. In fact, almost exclusively scholarly journals there. So if you're looking for magazine or newspaper sources, you wouldn't go to JSTOR. But if you were looking for newspaper sources only, you could check out this database, which is just called Newspaper Source. You could look also at the historical New York Times database. So the New York Times has been published since 1800 something, maybe back farther than that. So that's a searchable full text database for the New York Times. And then Opposing Viewpoints and Points of View Reference Center are also databases that include newspapers, magazines, scholarly journals, and a whole bunch of other stuff, oftentimes almost like full lesson plans on a particular topic. So keep those things all in mind. And then Power Search is really a search tool that searches all of the Gale databases. That is, all of the databases owned by a company named Gale, which is similar to, but different from EBSCOhost, which owns Academic Search Premier and a whole bunch of other databases. So if you remember that EBSCOhost that keeps appearing in the citation format when you use the citation tool in that database, that's what EBSCOhost refers to. So all of that said, though, what you really need to know is that these are general databases, which means they will take you to a number of different types of sources on a number of different topics. So in the third question on your Spirit of Inquiry final exam, you were asked to use a general database to find a magazine article. So let's take a look this time at Academic OneFile.